Well, if anyone can fight his way through, actually we're going on board with Jolyon Palmer now. Good start, way too much wheel spin from Leal ahead. Look at Lancaster already through. Beautiful, beautiful. Dillman through as well. Jolyon taking the white line, giving everybody room. Yeah, absolutely nothing he could do about that, was there?
Yeah, just completely unlucky there to be tagged. And here we go on board with Sam Berg. Now, I think we might see the Riquelme Palmer. So look to the right-hand side. That's Riquelme on a right, Palmer up ahead as they turn. And look at that, Riquelme way too fast, completely offline, and Birds had to back out of it as well. But Sam's kind of recovered with the mess, and he's retained that 7th place.
James Collado starting from 8th, already up into 7th.
Yeah, Collado chose the inside there to turn 1, which worked out really well for him. And then he managed to get around Leal as well in turn 3. I mean, Leal and Haryanto really, quite asleep, to be honest, in those first 200 meters of the race.
Stonking start from James Collado. But then if anyone can make his way through the field, it's Jolyon Palmer. I asked yesterday in commentary how many positions he'd made through. Oh, it's Daniel Abt. Looks to be facing the wrong way. Jolyon Palmer so far this season in racing conditions has made up 77 positions.
It's a very brave marshal there, Will, running onto the track. I don't know if they're going to try and push him out of the way. It could be a safety car here.
Yeah, Abt jumping out. The marshals do an incredible job here at Silverstone.
Come on, Daniel, get out of the way. The car's in the middle of the track. What are you doing?
I think he's trying to get the steering wheel back on.
Right, push the button on top. There we go, safety car. I mean, he shouldn't have taken so long to get out of the car. That's pretty unacceptable, really.
Well, field will be neutralised. Lancaster will be upset about that. He's done a great job to pull out a 1.5 second gap over Rio Haryanto in 2nd, James Collado 3rd. Wheels back on now so they can get the car off track. But you're right, just a little bit too long getting out. Daniel Abt. And the crowd showing their appreciation for the marshals and applauding them, and the marshals saluting that. And what's Daniel done there? Just taken too much speed into Abbey. Oh,
I'm not sure, because that's really odd. He's kind of lost it on the left-hander, which is really an easily flat left corner. So a bit confused, really, how he's lost it there. I don't know if there was another car in the background, but I'm not sure if they touched.
So Daniel Abt's season, which started with so much promise, it really is not panning out the way that he or ART had hoped. Another disappointment for the German. So safety car will be in this lap. The marshals have done a stunning job of getting that removed ASAP. All volunteers, of course, here for the love of the sport. We couldn't do it without them. Berton in the pits. So Trident, who'd had such joy just half an hour ago with Venturini taking the win in GP3, it's not going their way in GP2. Berton in the pits. And where's his teammate? Chacon 15th at the moment. So it will be Lancaster who has to measure the restart here at Silverstone. First time he's led a restart in GP2. Yesterday, the restart was driven absolutely beautifully in GP3 from the safety car by Jack Harvey. He really started to put the throttle down just on the exit of Stowe.
So who are we going to watch for here? Coletti's in 10th, Nasser in 12th. They could be on a bit of a charge, couldn't they, on the 3-start?
Yeah, agreed. Look for Coletti up to 10th already as Lancaster does wind them up through Stowe. Great restart from John Lancaster then. We're over the safety car line, so you should be able to pass from here. Anybody having a look up the inside of Club?
I wonder how Collado's going to get on, because he struggled for pace a bit yesterday, didn't he? He was okay, but he wasn't that quick even before the incident. And yeah, I wonder how he's going to get on here, because Haryanto, he should be ahead of Haryanto. If you look at past Foreman, who's that coming down the inside?
De Jong having a look at Lima up the inside into Abbey. And De Jong just edges Lima. It's a good move from Daniel De Jong. And Lima's lost 3 places. Falls behind Riquelme. Very bold, forceful move from Daniel De Jong, but clean. And
super restart from Lancaster there. He judged that to perfection and already came across the line with 2 corners. He'd only made a second on Haryanto. Superb, and that's Rossi once again on Rosenzweig coming around the outside into Brooklyn. Rosenzweig trying to run him wide. Rossi hangs on.
Keeps it stuck in, but can't keep it going. And Nazar tries to get around the outside, but is balked by Rosenzweig as Rossi now on the inside of his compatriot. Coming through Woodcote and onto the old start-finish straight. Rossi inside and once again for Stowe. Rosenzweig edging, but Rossi's there. And Rosenzweig runs wide, and that now allows Felipe Nazar to have a look around the outside of Alexander Rossi, and that's the line he wants. Great move from Felipe Nazar as Rosenzweig takes back to the track and almost takes Coletti with him. So wonderful stuff from Felipe Nazar, makes up 2 positions in that battle between Rosenzweig and Alexander Rossi. So Nazar now up into 8th place, and he's got past Coletti, Rossi and Rosenzweig on that lap as Coletti now gets around the outside of Rosenzweig. So Rosenzweig dropping back, and then there's Quake Hobbs getting in on it as well.
Yeah, this is great stuff. Look at that. Rosenzweig ran wide on the outside. Nasser had a great run coming out of Kopp's corner. Almost 3 wide for a moment there. Nasser just sneaks up the inside into Beckett's as Rossi's done a lot of work to kind of end the lap in the same place he started on that lap.
Exactly. It's counterintuitive going into Maggotts, isn't it? If you want to make them move, you want to be on the right-hand side of the track going into Maggotts left, because then you've got the inside line coming into Beckett's immediately afterwards. But great stuff there from Felipe Nazar. You've really got to be gutsy to try and make a move into Maggotts, and make it he did, and he made it stick. Beautiful stuff.
I have to say, Will, I'm very impressed with Haryanto. His pace on that last lap, within 3/10 of Lancaster up front, and they're the only 2 really breaking away from the pack. Haryanto is doing a great job in 2nd place.
Frines slaps on a new rear right, potentially having picked up some damage on the one that he started the race on. John Lancaster, though, fastest man on track at the moment. Last lap of 1:43.314.
Sam Bird versus Marcus Ericsson. How many times have these 2 been racing each other over the last, I don't know, even 7, 8 years in Formula 3, GP2, or various categories?
I remember when they were teammates in GP2, and they ended up coming together quite a lot, and Jacko brought them in and basically bumped their heads together and said, right, you can rebuild the cars this time. Replay on board then with Jolyon Palmer. This coming up to Canamassas, must be?
Yep, so this is into the loop. What's going on here? Palmer has moved on the inside. Two and one. Great move from Jolyon Palmer. So he's getting 2 places there. And that should... what's that? That's damage.
Canamassas. Yeah, I wonder if he did that. It looked like he turned quite sharply into Jolyon Palmer on the way into the loop.
No, but he's damaged the other side of the wing. Palmer was on his left, but he's damaged the right side. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Another fastest lap for Lancaster. He's breaking away, isn't it? Lead up front now, 2.3 seconds, and he's taken a full second out of anybody else on track on that last lap.
Meanwhile, Sam Bird is hooked up onto the back of Marcus Ericsson, down onto the Wellington Straight in the Halo Project sponsored Russian time car that took the race win yesterday. Bird wanting to get back on that Silverstone podium in front of the Grand Prix faithful here on British Grand Prix Sunday. They've already seen 1 podium today. Oh, and Ericsson's run wide. Bird on the power. The Bird currently sitting 7th. So lucky to keep out of that melee at turn 1. And he is quicker than Ericsson marginally over the last 3 laps.
Got a yellow flag somewhere, Will, I'm not sure.
Down at the loop, mate, down at Farm. It's for Debris on track, and Marshall's out there picking it up. They're a brave bunch, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I think they're quite... I think it's still early stage of the race, so in effect the cars are still quite bunched up, which allows them to do that. But Robin Fry's on the investigation, and normally that investigation only goes one way.
Indeed, mate, indeed. So 7 laps done.
It's interesting to listen to Sam Bird there, short shifting all the way through Club Corner. Oh, there's Canamassas running to the back of the No, it wasn't Palmer. He hit the other car on the right.
So Crestani and Evans. It's already happened at that point. Did he hit Trummer? I think he might have hit Trummer. And now Jolyon Palmer on Kevin Chacon. We ride on board though with Sam Bird. And where is Marcus Ericsson? I think the answer is behind us. Indeed, there he is. So Sam Bird has got past Marcus Ericsson. And look at Felipe Nasr coming through. I tell you what, if Nasr scores, Nasr's in a points paying position already in 8th from 25th.
That's amazing. Nasr's having a fantastic race, really. You know, that opening lap where he gained, I don't know, it was 10, 12 positions. And since then, you know, he's kind of built on it. And, you know, he's got good pace here. If he can, he's got the quick guys ahead. Ericsson and Bird are fast. And we're on board with Sam Bird here. Let's see what happens. And what is...
Oh, he's outbraked himself trying to get around Canamassas, who's just left the pits for that new wing.
So Marcus distracted there by Canamassas. Oh, no, well, I think he probably got done on the way out, coming out of the pit lane.
Past Chacon.
Past Chacon now, so Palmer back up into 12. He's having a hell of a race, isn't he? I mean, he's having
a hell of a season. Oh, and that's Rosenzweig, and he's got a puncture to the rear right. Well, I say puncture, certainly
some damage on that
huge
tyre
issues.
Is that delamination? Because the tyre's still inflated, so it's not punctured.
Well, it looks like, look, there's a strip come off it.
Yeah, it's like a delamination because the tyre is still inflated, so it's not really a puncture.
John Lancaster leads this race by 3 seconds from Rio Haryanto. James Collado is third, can do nothing about him at the moment, 1.2 seconds back. Then it's Leal and Dillman. Sam Bird up to 6th, Marcus Ericsson is 7th, Felipe Nasr is 8th. And on a real charge.
Yeah, Ericsson's struggling now. Ericsson's struggling. You can see again locking up with that left hand of the loop, missing the apex. And he's going to come under pressure from Nasr fairly soon, I'd imagine. But look at that, Rossi's hanging on the back of Nasr as well now. Yeah,
Rossi's making his way up. And now Jolyon Palmer behind the lapped car of Sergio Canamassas. Ooh, debris there. That's a piece, I think, of the tyre, of Jake Rosenzweig's tyre. Or is it a piece of debris that caused delamination in?
Well, don't forget, there was a lot of debris on track at the loop, wasn't there? After the, I think it was binder actually that Canamassas hit. So I wonder if that debris maybe put the delamination.
Interesting. So Lancaster still leads. There's your second place man, Rio Haryanto. There's third, James Collado, who is starting to come under pressure from Julian Leal, who's gone green sector 1 and was 4/10 faster in sector 2. So here's Jake Rosenzweig.
We've got
and his tyre. Look, here we go. There goes the tyre. Wow,
that was quite spectacular actually. We've got a warning for Alexander Rossi, by the way, for track limits. So he must be going all 4 wheels outside the track limits at some point.
I guess maybe Copse Corner. That's a...
No, well, I wonder here as well, the Exeter Club. Look at that, you can see that yellow car in the background. Ericsson as well, fully all 4 wheels off. This looks like the most likely corner for me actually, coming out of club, the final corner.
Cool. Now look at how much Leal has cut that gap back to James Collado. It's 0.6 seconds the gap now, and Dillman less than a second behind Julian Leal as well. Sam Bird currently 2 seconds behind his teammates.
I'd love to see Julian Leal get a podium here. He's a lovely kid. You know, he hasn't really, I think, done much in his couple of seasons in GP2. It'd be good for him to get a podium here.
Chicotto is out, and that is on the run down the Hanger Straits, is it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
It is. It looks much shorter there for some reason. And Leal, he's hooked up now, isn't he? Massively hooked up.
But this is the same as yesterday, isn't it? Collado, again, after 7 or 8 laps, struggling for pace.
Just drops. Absolutely. James Collado has been... it's been a mystery this season to me. I mean, he's clearly got the pace. He's got the experience.
I mean, he came into the season as the clear championship favourite, I think, didn't he?
Absolutely.
And, I mean, you know, because you'd have to say at that stage, Sam Bird and Rashid Time, a new team. You know, okay, along with Coletti, Lima, I think Collado, these were the 3 clear favourites coming into the season. It's not happened for him this year.
Too many inconsistencies for James Collado. Too many retirements, too many races outside the points. started brilliantly with a second place, but since then has not been on the podium. Has a best finish of 5th since that opening weekend. And that, not the results on which a championship run is based. He's been straight line testing for Force India. He's changed management over to all road management, Nicholas Tote's franchise. I wonder what's going on in James's head. I wonder if there's too much going on up there. I don't know. But as the pressures associated with racing at this level, you've got to be able to soak it all up. Quape Hobbs now having a look at Stefano Coletti ahead. This strategy of starting on the medium compound tyres not working out for Quape Hobbs. He needed to make those early laps count while he had that better pace, because now they're going to start degging. The other guys will have better longevity in their tyres with the harder compounding, locking up that front left, given how much of a battering the front left takes around Silverstone. Absolutely not ideal.
They're going to start degging. Is that a technical term?
Yes. I don't know if it is. I've just made it if it isn't.
Book of Buxtonisms, in case you're at home. Please get a pen and paper as we see Quape Hobbs go down the inside into Cop's corner. Oh, brave stuff round the outside from Stefano Coletti. Coletti's been around the block a lot. You're not going to pull that off on him too easily. And going to the left instead of the counterintuitive move to the right from Quape Hobbs allows Coletti to stay ahead. Good catch from Quape Hobbs through Beckett. Good fight shaping up between these two. Black and white flag for Quape Hobbs for exceeding track limits. They're pushing. Yeah, absolutely, and I'm pretty sure again it's probably for that last corner. Let's have a look. Oh, look at how much he's gained on the way in. Does Coletti pull away a bit on the way out? A little bit, yeah. I mean, Quape Hobbs is a bit quicker at this stage of the race. There's no question about it, and which surprises me a little bit, because Coletti was the form man yesterday, wasn't he, for a lot of the race?
Absolutely.
Till his tyres started to go off, but Quape Hobbs is certainly quicker than him at this stage of the race.
Into Abbey. Can Quape Hobbs make that move again? The last lap was a stunning one for him, but Coletti at the moment, well, he doesn't quite have the pace of the guys ahead. He's not making inroads to the points. And Quape Hobbs, while he does have some life left in these mediums, needs to get past him and start fighting after the guys ahead. For Haryanto looking quite safe in second, but for third place, the battle rages still between Collado and Leal behind. Dillman's dropped off the back of it a little bit, but Leal still remains hungry. He still remains tucked up and looming large in Collado's wing mirrors. Back to the same place where Quape Hobbs had a look last time. Coletti defends on the inside. Quape Hobbs going around the outside, but Coletti once again, we saw yesterday just what a beautiful defender of position Stefano Coletti is.
Yeah, he did a great job yesterday, didn't he? He hung on for a long, long time. We're about halfway through this race. He's going to have to hang on for another 10 laps to make this work. Quape Hobbs. But Quape Hobbs is quicker. It's just a question of whether his medium compound tyres start to fade a bit. Is that Canamassa's trying to unlap himself?
It is. As we saw yesterday with De Jong, that can lead to some hijinks.
So up at the front, Lancaster still leads, by the way, by 3.5 seconds from Haryanto, who's doing a great job, a second ahead of James Collado. Leal is still 4th, Tillman 5th, and Sam Bird in 6th behind his teammate. Palmer has not been able to get past Canamassas. The Spaniard clearly has good pace here today, despite being a lap behind. Lock up from Quape Hobbs, who has dropped back from Coletti a little bit. I think Canamassas is distracting Quape Hobbs here a little bit, because he's dropped off the back of Coletti and he's having to defend a little bit too much. But Palmer's coming behind now as well.
All the while, Alexander Rossi gaining on Felipe Nasr. The gap less than a second, just 0.8 between the American and that final point in 8th place for Felipe Nasr. What an unbelievable job it would be if Nasr can take some points today, even just a few, to try and cut that gap back to Stefano Coletti. With Coletti currently outside the points. Lancaster right now doing a great job and just holding his lead, not pushing, just keeping it easy in the low 1 minute 45s, maintaining a 3.5 second gap over Haryanto, who himself really not looking as though he's struggling at all in second place.
Yeah, indeed. I think it's. I don't think Haryanto hasn't had a podium this year, has he? So this will be.
No, he hasn't, mate. He's had a shocker. Rio Haryanto, best result of 7th yesterday, was his best result of the season. He's been out of the points almost every race. Just a 9th place for him in Spain. Best of a bad bunch, really. So back on board with Jolyon Palmer, the overtaking machine of 2013.
Yeah, it's a real shame for him that Riquelme took him out on lap 1, because he's clearly fast, and I think he could have been a real threat to Lancaster if he got away okay at the start.
Agreed.
Oh, look, he's waiting. And it's true, though. I don't understand what Canamass is doing. Where are the blue flags? I don't understand why there aren't blue flags for Canamasses here.
We're not showing blue flag signals coming up on race control either. And what's race control doing?
Well, yeah, and the team need to get Canamasses out of the way as well. What is he doing? You know, he's not racing position. Get out of the way.
Oh,
what are you doing?
What is he doing? A lap back, collides with Palmer, and yeah, again, you know, Canamassas. It seems when that guy puts his visor down, sometimes he loses a little gauge of reality.
I think Palmer's just going to go to the pits and park it now, in the old pits.
And he will. And that's a huge disappointment for Jolyon Palmer. What a drive he'd had. Now, a huge disappointment for Jolyon Palmer. A weekend, yeah, look, the steering's bent, isn't it? And Canamass is still going, albeit slowly. But, you know, that's... Where were the blue flags? As you say, where's the team telling him to come in? Palmer's through, Palmer's passed.
Yeah, I mean, in this respect, Palmer's kind of had a lunge and just... he's had to make a desperate lunge to make the move. And okay, if you look at this incident as an isolated one, you kind of say actually 50-50. But the reality is Palmer shouldn't have been in a position where he's had to make that lunge in the first place. That's my point. I mean, that incident there, you know, you could even argue was possibly even Palmer's fault, because he's had a massive lunge, but the Canamass is a little bit turned in on him. But all of this that I've just said is irrelevant, really.
He's had to make a lunge where he's carried too much speed in and understeered in through the corner, and that's maybe drawn him into Canamassas a little bit. But as you say, it's all because the guy was in a position he shouldn't have been, and you know, Palmer should have been through 4 or 5 laps ago.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Meanwhile, Palmer's teammate Felipe Nasr still in the points. Rossi now starting to drop back off him. Haryanto's drawn a couple of tenths in on Lancaster on the last lap. It's all settling down a little bit, isn't it now? Bird, though, has drawn the gap back to his teammate Dillman. Less than a second now sits between them. And I think it's not only about here, 6 laps to go, that people start to apply the pressure, start to put their foot down and start to try and draw as much as they can out of these tyres.
Yeah, Nasser's struggling a bit now. He's slipping backwards into the clutches of Alexander Rossi. So the battle, really, which we thought could have been between Nasser and Ericsson, is now going to be, I think, Nasser versus Rossi, because Felipe now full 5.1 seconds behind Marcus Ericsson.
Ericsson hanging on to the back of Sam Bird as well.
Well, from second place down to Ericsson, this whole bunch here in second to 7th is only covered by 5 seconds. So this is going to be quite an entertaining final 6 laps, I feel. Should be. Lancaster, he's looking great guns, isn't he, today? Absolutely brilliant. And it was such a start for him. The gap maintained at 3.3 seconds at the front. But Haryanto's managed to pull out over Collado. And I wonder how much Leal's taken out of his tyres in those few laps where he was really pushing Collado. If he's maybe backed off to try and save something in them, and then we'll go for it now. Such a tricky one. This Sunday race, part of me, Karun, wishes that because the number of pit stops in Formula 1 has increased over the last few years, and because the importance of tyre use and wanting to see a good show, part of me wishes that
these guys would be given a couple of extra sets of tyres, and that race 1 would be 2 compulsory pit stops, and race 2 1 compulsory pit stop. I kind of would like to see that. Just, I don't know, just to try and bring a bit more excitement into the Sunday race.
Yeah, on one side I agree with you, but on the other side it's cost, isn't it? It all adds to the cost for racing, because you're adding another, whatever it is, 2,000-3,000 euros a weekend for a driver. Here we go, Sergio Canamas is causing a penalty.
10-second stop go. Yeah.
I don't see what that does. I mean, that baffles me really, because he's down in 20th place anyway. So,
and if he wasn't showing blue flags as well, and it didn't look like he was showing blue flags, then...
No, but that's not the point. You know you're a lap down.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. You know, I think he should have got something for the next race. Really, for that, it is quite bad what happened there.
Lancaster now leads by 3.8 seconds, so he's putting his foot down. And this battle still raging. Ericsson's dropped a little bit off the back of Bird, but Bird is gunning it.
I mean, you have to say, the team at Hilmer Motorsport, they're doing a great job here, because Lancaster, he's got very, very consistent pace, hasn't he? All through the race, he's been able to hover around the sort of, he did the 43s earlier, then he's kind of dipped into the 44s, and he's kind of hovering in the mid 44s. And, you know, the team have done a super job, and he's able to manage the tyres exactly as he wants. And likewise, Haryanto, I think, all credit to Haryanto. That gap has stabilized around the 3.5 second mark for the last for the last 10-15 laps. I think he lost out the first 3 or 4 laps, but since then it's kind of stabilized a bit.
We talked yesterday about the incredible job that Russian Time have done since coming into GP2, albeit with good technical support from some of the iSport guys. But what about Hilmer Motorsport, to have turned up this season again as a new team? They've already taken a race win with Robin Freins in Barcelona. Here today, John Lancaster still leading by nearly 4 seconds, still 3.8 the gap maintained at the front. Really stonking job from them.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, there's no question about it. So here, look at that. As I said, NASA's struggling a bit with tyres. This goes back to your Trevor Carlin story yesterday, doesn't it? He's now set his personal fastest lap of the race, a full 1 second quicker than anybody else on track.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. And that little bit of, we saw him making those moves early on, that little bit of aggression that's needed. And NASA starting to push. Pulled the gap out from Rossi now 1.4 seconds, but it's 3.6 up to Ericsson. And as Trevor said, if Felipe just pushed a couple of laps earlier, he'd be finishing a couple of places higher and wouldn't be finishing just a couple of tenths off those positions that he should have had. He lost the race in Bahrain by inches. Had it been 100 yards longer, I think he would have won that Bahrain race. Sam Bird certainly knew it. Absolutely. Speaking to him on the podium afterwards, he said, yeah, another lap, I was toast. I was absolutely done. NASA was too quick. Freins, though, is out of this race as we talk back about Hilmer. Freins out of the race, but his teammate John Lancaster is leading. There is Robin Freins. And again, Lancaster's just doing a great job of eking out even more of an advantage on this lap. 3/10 faster than Haryanto Sector 1. 2/10 faster Sector 2. So already half a second up with 4 laps remaining here at Silverstone. Oh, big lock-up from Sam Bird.
I think it was Dillman, actually. I think Dillman locked up, and Sam now closer than ever. He's not really going to have a massively risky lunge, I don't think, Sam Bird, but I think he's thinking about the opportunity here. There is a chance for him to get past. Further back, NASA once again, another personal fastest lap of the race. Now he's taken 1.5 seconds out of this battle up ahead. Look at that in the background. Felipe Nasser closing down Marcus Ericsson.
Amazing. 3 laps left to run here in Silverstone, and it's not over yet. John Lancaster leads by 4.4 seconds, but the battle for the points, it's on. Felipe Nasser is coming for Marcus Ericsson. Rossi still sits 9th. Coletti now 5 seconds back from Rossi. So Coletti, I can't see him scoring points today. The strategy that Quay Pobbs tried of running on the mediums has not worked out for him. He's down in 11th place, so one spot lower than he started. Chacon up to 12th from right at the back, as well as Sam Bird now all over the back of Tom Dillman coming into Maggots. Through Beckett and into Chappell. Tricky to stick with a rival through there, but you need a good slingshot on the exit, and Bird has that slingshot. Coming down the hanger straight, Sam Bird taking a look at his teammate, tucked up underneath his rear wing, moves around the outside of Tom Dillman. And Bird, sensible driving from Dillman. Bird gets around the outside of him.
Yeah, Dillman gave up that place quite easily there, really. He backed out of it quite easily down the inside and allowed Sam Bird to kind of sweep round on the normal line.
So this, Mitch Evans, just outbreaking himself a little bit. But then up the inside of Simon Trummer, forceful stuff from the GP3 champion. A very nice move. Fabio Lima looked like got a run on Trummer coming through there as well. Now look at Felipe Nasr. He's right on the back of Marcus Ericsson coming into the loop. There he is. So he's taken, again, another second and a half out of him in that lap. And up the inside of Marcus Ericsson flies Felipe Nasr. That's 7th place. Now ahead sits Tom Dillman. Nasr's had a great couple of laps. Big lock up on that front left.
Oh, he's going to get Dillman, isn't he? Look at how much more grip he has. It's amazing.
Incredible. Incredible. Now
Nasr's got so much more grip. He's able to stay on the tighter line and be quicker through the corner than Tom Dillman.
Into Cox.
Look at that graphic at the bottom of the screen. He's taken 2.5 seconds out of Dillman on the last lap. I think Dillman's tyres have reached a cliff now, and Nasr's just got to be patient. He's got to be patient through Beckett and try and pull off the same move Sam Bird did on the previous lap into Stowe Corner.
Through the final part of Beckett's and into Chappell, then Felipe Nasr. Taking a look at 6th place, it's Tom Dillman ahead, and Dillman immediately moves across the track, trying to break that toe. Nasr knows if he can stick with him through Stowe, he can have a look into Club, and he has got that grip through there. Great shot out of Stowe. I think he's going to be careful on his brakes, having locked up that front left. Doesn't want to abuse that with just 1 lap left here at Silverstone. Lancaster leads, Harrianto is 2nd, Collado is 3rd, but Leal is still pushing him for that 3rd place. Just 0.6 between them. But this, the battle for 6th between Dillman and Felipe Nasr. And Nasr, can he get on the inside of Dillman? I think he's going to have a look coming down under the bridge on the hanger straight. And Rossi now. Rossi's making the push as well. Gets up onto the back of Marcus Ericsson. So Rossi fighting for the last points of the race. Rossi's looked after his tyres brilliantly. Into the old stadium section.
Yeah, this is... Oh,
there we
look
go,
at that. Nasr's trying to come down the inside. Has he got the traction on the way out? Likewise, Rossi behind. Nasr right in the slipstream as they head towards Cops Corner. He's going to have to make a brave move here, Will.
Absolutely. Nasr underneath him, has a look up the inside. Dillman chops him off. And that will hold them both back. Curtailed on the exit. Rossi couldn't get past Ericsson either. Limited space for a move now. Just Stowe and Club remain. And Nasr getting one wheel off onto the dirt, unsettles him through Beckett. Through Chappell and down the hanger straight. Nasr has dropped back a little bit from Dillman. It's going to have to be Club for him now. Same for Rossi. Can either of them make those positions in the final corners? As we pull to John Lancaster, who's led every lap of this race and wins at home. It's 2 British winners at Silverstone in GP2. Oh, and Nasr having a look at Dillman. Up on the inside for Club. Can he do it? He's got it stuck in. Dillman cuts him off. Dillman and Nasr. Dillman does it just. And Ericsson holds on from Rossi. What a great last lap from these guys. Nasr passes him, but a corner too late. And it's a race win for Hilmer and a fabulous run from John Lancaster today. Absolutely perfect, wasn't he?
Yeah, terrific result for Lancaster. He drove a superb race. All the foundations really built on that opening lap and that fantastic start where he jumped ahead. Great result for Haryanto as well, second place, and he had good pace as well. Didn't totally deserve that. Collado in third, hang on ahead of Leal and Sam Bird.
Dillman in sixth, Nasr seventh, and Ericsson holding on for eighth. And Collado, had a great start, James Collado, didn't he? Absolutely brilliant stuff from him. But John Lancaster, what a season he's had. Started off racing in the MRF Championship in India. He enjoyed that hugely. I know all the guys racing in MRF enjoyed it massively. Connor Daly and all of them, and really set him up for a great year. And then in GP2, he's already had podium place finishes. Now takes the win. All four wheels off.
Yeah, you get away with that, I think.
Yeah. But again, Naz is that far off the back of him over the line. Trevor's going to be saying, you could have pushed a lap earlier, mate.
Well, yeah, the problem was Nasser allowed the gap to get to Ericsson to over 5.1 seconds at one stage. And, okay, he got Ericsson at the end, but you wonder if he just managed that gap to sort of 3.5, whether, he could have gained a couple other places.
Well, ifs and buts, but the one certainty here today was John Lancaster with a beautiful start and a measured race, never looked troubled, and won by 6.5 seconds from Rio Haryanto. It's a great day for Britain once again, with James Collado completing that podium in third, Julian Leal fourth, Sam Bird fifth. More good points for the championship, as neither Coletti nor Lima scoring today. Nazar, of course, good points for the championship as well in seventh, and Ericsson taking that final one in eighth. Rossi ninth, Coletti 10th, Quaid Hobbs 11th. That strategy really didn't work out for him at all, did it, Kerry? And Chacon 12th. Bit of a baffling. I'm always baffled by people who go for the option tyre in the Sunday race, because it never works out for them, ever.
It is confusing, I have to say. I mean, to try and do the 21 laps on the option tyre, it is a big gamble. I don't. If it was going to work anyway, it was probably here, because the difference between the two tyres isn't that much. But even so, it's not quite enough, I think.
I think you're right. Maybe they were expecting a safety car. Who knows? But you can't run a strategy based on that. And John going to give the lawn a bit of a cut.
Oh, they're coming in the right podium here.
Thank goodness for that, mate. Thank goodness for that. It'll be a very happy podium. The British fans will be delighted to see that. Nick Yelloly, of course, on the podium in GP3 a few hours ago. Now John Lancaster and James Collado on the podium here. Most importantly, of course, the fact that Lancaster has taken his first GP2 series victory. Come on. Great stuff. Great stuff. I'm really happy for him, because he's one of those guys that doesn't have the biggest budget in the world. And the Hilmer guys have just done a brilliant job. Second win of the year for them. And just thoroughly deserved. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Don't know what he's pointing at.
I don't know what he's pointing at. Well, he was pointing at the St George's Cross to start with. He's pointing at the FIA sticker. I don't know. And great, Haryanto. Let's take our hats off to Haryanto. We weren't convinced that he'd be able to hold on to this race, but he did a standout job today. Standout job. Having James Collado behind you, certainly in those opening laps, can't have been easy, because James was fast through the opening sector. Collado also did great to hold off from Julian Leal.
Yeah, I mean, Haryanto, I thought he's standing with his manager Pierre Sunny, said they're standing in the background, and they were both talking about how he's had a difficult change to Adax and hasn't quite worked out for him. This was going to be his big year. It hasn't quite worked out. I'm really pleased for Rio. He's another really nice guy, and I think he's worked hard to get to where he has from Indonesia. I'm very pleased for him. And
he's got a massive following. The Indonesians.
He's huge out there.
He's massive, isn't he?
I mean, have you ever been to Jakarta?
No, never.
He is massive out there.
Really?
He's a real superstar out in Indonesia.
And you're right, he is a lovely lad. He's just a great guy. I'll never forget the sight of him when he burst into tears, having won at the Nürburgring, having held off Bottas and Collado in GP3, went on slick tyres when it was raining. It was an astonishing drive from him, and just the emotion. It was great to see it just pouring out of him. Someone who does, he does drive with his heart on his sleeve. Collado looking a little bit somber, wasn't he? I think, should be proud of the fact that he's managed to draw his weekend back and finish on the podium. Now, what are you pointing to? There we go. That's going to be an emotional one for him then, clearly. Well, what a drive. Very silent room from the three. I mean, usually they're all chatting together, but
yeah, it does, isn't it? It's quite intense what's going on. They all seem quite serious and quite intense at this moment.
Please remember that
I hope they cheer up a bit when I get onto the podium.
I was going to say, I don't know Lancaster or Collado at all, but I don't know, are they typically serious chaps, or they don't seem